It's the show
After the show!
I gotta tell you, this dynamic's gonna be really weird because everybody else is clearly running off of like, let's just make it to the end of the week energy, and I am not feeling that because it's the first day I've been at work this week. Not that I wish it was Monday. Please, for the love of God, do not make that happen. But it'll be an interesting dynamic to see how this unfolds. Hey, everybody! Glad you're not kidnapped. Glad you haven't snapped.
I'm glad I'm not kidnapped too.
Okay.
I'm also glad that you didn't snap.
I almost did.
So you and I, and you're a normal American, but Producer Butters and I have talked about credit cards a lot. You know, we haven't talked about credit cards very much, but I'm assuming you have some. So have you had? No, not at all. Oh, okay, never mind. See, well, I was wrong. Producer Butters and me and you. So have you run into any issues in terms of just dealing with the companies attached to your credit cards over the last, let's say, month and a half?
No, never.
Never at all.
I don't ever contact them.
Oh, okay. So here's my dilemma. These are the two situations I've run into. So the first one was my main bank. My debit card expired, and I was not smart enough to realize that because normally they send you the card like a year in advance. They're like, oh my gosh, it's almost there. Here you go. And so I sent them a message, and I was like, hey, by the way, this is expired. I need a new one. And they said, oh, no, we already sent you one. And I said, no, you didn't, because I don't have it. And they said, oh, well, we'll cancel it and send you another. So it took legitimately took 3 months for me to get a new debit card because I did that on Christmas because I went home and that's when I realized that it expired, and I sent them the message and then they didn't respond forever, and they were like, oh, don't worry, we sent you one. I'm like, no, you didn't, because I don't have it. And then so that's just a stupid nightmare. And then Goldman Sachs bought the GM card, which I have from Capital One. And so that has been a whole dilemma because they took it off the website, didn't tell me what the new website was. They canceled the card that I had because it's not Capital One anymore, didn't say anything. So it's been this whole pain in the butt. Well, they didn't send me a new one. Like, they canceled it because it was the Capital One GM card. And I'm like, okay, send me the Goldman Sachs. They didn't send it. So I was like, okay, I've given you enough time. This whole thing has been announced for 3 months ahead of time. It was canceled in February. So I just went and I was like, my card's been damaged or stolen. Please send me a new one. And they're like, we'll block the card and send you a new one. I was like, good luck. I don't even know where it's at. So I went to complain because the whole process of transferring this credit card has been an unmitigated nightmare. They have not sent me the right information to go find where the credit card is, to log into it so I can, see it. They haven't given me a physical new one. So I was like, all right, that's it. Email time. I'm going to complain. Impossible. Companies have just removed emails from the website. They do not want you to be able to find an email to complain to.
Yeah, because they probably don't want to deal with all the spam that comes along with it, so that's why they make you chat. Or call them.
The chatting, customer service chatting is, to me, the epitome of spam because it's like, what can I help you with? Type the word, and you type it, and it goes, oh, I'm sorry. Because, over Christmas, I had an issue with Fanatics. It sells sports memorabilia, like jerseys and crap. I ordered 2 jerseys for LSU, Louisiana State University. They sent me 2 jerseys for the Washington football team, which is an NFL team. I'm like, you guys messed this one up hard. I don't know how you did it, but you messed it up hard. And they're like, oh, we don't have an email. You can call. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Oh, you want to sit on hold for 2 hours? That's just going to be the right thing to fuel my rage even more. So chat. And I'm like, okay, chat. And they're like, select a category. Issues. I was like, all right, type it in. Type. Oh, we're sorry to hear that. Type your issue in. Type. Oh, we're sorry to hear it. Just over and over again. And I was like, email. Just give me an email. Have you heard of it? I want one.
See, what I've learned to do on those chat things is you just type in customer service.
You're gonna say customer? It's like right there with you, buddy. Let's do it.
No, I can't remember what else is there, or agent or something like that. You just type in one word.
See, that's what you gotta learn because it's
you just
zero.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, it's 0 on the phone.
Yeah,
you just hit 0 enough times, and then finally go, fine. Well, actually, I can't believe this person wants to talk to a person and not a machine. But whatever, we'll do it. And my most favorite thing about actually getting on the phone calls, of course, is also that they're like, oh, well, you're not in the right department. I'm like, imagine that. You gave me a 1-800 number and I can't figure out where to go.
Yeah.
Worst.
That happens a lot.
Worst. Okay.
I don't know. Okay, but seriously, I used to work at customer service, and I'm going to tell you that emails, if the company does have an email, emails are the worst as an agent because especially where I used to work, because so the customer would email and then we would respond, and it would take them weeks to respond. And then half of the time, the same agent would get that email. It would be another agent. And then by the time
Well, that's just confusing.
the original agent got it, it was like 10 agents had like touched it and nothing had been solved. And then you go through the thing and you're like, what are you doing? This is the answer.
See, that's why I generally think that an email, like, for me, I would much rather do the chat than do an email.
Look, producer
Then
Butters,
call, because-
next time it inevitably happens that somebody lets me down, because let's be honest, it's going to happen. I'll try it.
Try it. Do it.
See, it's nice. It's nice because with the chat, you can just leave it open and then you turn on the little sound and then you just wait for the little sound. So you can do whatever you're doing.
Yeah, probably.
Ding.
Right.
Okay.
So, you want to know? You want to know one of my least favorite customer service encounters? I was dealing with a cable company, and I just magically, for whatever reason, my cable Wi-Fi was all through them. It was fine, and then one day it was off, just gone. Not like disconnected, just like didn't have access, no longer has an account. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So I get on the phone. In which case, the first person I talk to says,
What's your account number?
well, yeah, so I have to give them all that. But the first person I talk to goes, oh, yeah, well, we won't be able to fix that until we can send somebody out. It'll be a week. And I say, oh, no, it won't. You just turned it off in an instant because it was fine 20 minutes ago. You will turn this back on. I got transferred to 4 other people, and I was on the phone for 2.5 hours before I finally ended up on the phone with a lady who said, oh, let me take care of that. 15 minutes on the phone with her, problem solved. And I said, okay, look, I'm trying really hard not to be mean here, so please explain to me why it took me 2.5 hours to get on the phone with you, who solved this problem in 10 minutes when everybody else was like, oh, we're going to have to send somebody else out there, sorry. I don't know. How is that an answer? Like, it's no. They hit the big switch, and mine was included. And then I was like, hit the big switch. I'm like, nah, we can't do that. We're going to do it Wednesday. No, hit the big switch right now.
So I've been told, and I don't know if this is true or not.
I'm going to
But
believe
there
it.
is like a credit score kind of thing for customer service, like on you. So when you
Oh, that would make sense.
So when you call places and complain all the time, your customer service score like goes down, and they won't deal with you or give you any good deals. At least that's what I've been told.
That is true.
I did not. I'm writing that down.
And people get short with you too. Like, yeah, there was this one guy that would call at least like 3 times a week, and there was only 2 of us taking Spanish calls. And yeah, after like 3 weeks, I was done with the guy, and I was like, if you want me to help me, if you want me to help you, help me help you. Shut up.
I feel generally I'm pretty pleasant. It's just when you jerk me around and like that. I was 2.5 hours on the phone, 5 different people. It was the 5th one. Took her 15 minutes. I think I'm allowed to be mad when it was just like, oh, we have no idea what the problem is. Is that working? Oh, we just had a technical bug over here. We got it sorted out. Thank goodness. Like, really?
There's a cell phone company that my dad uses, and it took us 6 months, probably 5-6 calls, to finally get it sorted out.
Jeez.
Because we'd wait for the bill to come out and be like, well, this is not what we were told.
You remember? This is the last one, and we can move on to push presents because I know Producer Butters wants to figure out what the hell that is. So, do you remember? So, my first apartment here, they had a deal with. I don't use them. I don't think we advertise with them. So screw them. AT&T and DirecTV. And so the deal, like you could set up, right? So they'd set up your internet and you get a box. It was all part of living there or whatever. So it's time for me to move, and I've had boxes before. You're supposed to generally take them back. So I contact my front office of the apartment complex. I say, what do I do? And they say, oh, you just leave it there and we'll take care of it and we'll put it back in our inventory or whatever and deal with it. I'm like, oh, that makes complete sense because that's who I got it from. So I do that. So then a month goes by, and I get a bill from DirecTV. And they go, oh, here's your bill. And I said, no. I don't live there anymore. I'm not paying this. So they go, oh, well, your name's on it. I said, well, I ain't going to pay for it because my name on that apartment. And not only that, so then the person finally goes, oh, okay, well, we'll get this all taken care of for you. So a second month goes by, nothing happens. A third month goes by, and I get a letter that says I'm going to be taken to collections because I have a bill that I haven't paid. And again, it's DirecTV. So I call them and I say, okay, what the hell? Because not only is it my bill, they've given me new packages. They've signed me up for new cable packages. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't sign up for that. Second of all, I don't live here. I have been living here for 3 months. I'm not paying this. You need to get this taken care of. And it was another one of those situations where the first person's like, oh, well, we can't do anything. You're going to have to go. I was like, no, I'm not going to, because that's not how it's going to work. And it takes 3 people. And then finally the last guy's like, oh, yeah, this is so stupid. Let me take care of this for you. Done. He's like, log in here to double check. And I'm like, why? Why is it like the first person, like, is it the sucker thing? Like, let's see if we could scam AJ out of $100. And then if not, yeah, we'll finally actually take care of it because, he didn't actually charge
I
us.
feel like the initial people don't know how to initially solve the problem. And so then when they can't figure it out, they transfer it to somebody else.
Honestly, here, like I said, I used to work at a call center. So from my experience, what happens is it's bad training. So you get the new people that don't know what to do, and they just transfer you, and probably the person that's like, oh, yeah, that's stupid, let me fix it. It's probably the ones that have been there for years that are underappreciated. Because that used to be me.
Sure,
I would get a call and they'd be like, I've been on hold and I've been getting the runaround for 5 hours. And I'm like, well, that's a lie, but okay, I understand. What's the problem? This doesn't work. And I'd be like, oh, well, do this. Oh, it's working. How can you fix it, but nobody else can? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Look, are they the unheralded? Are they the unheralded and taken for granted people? Yes. Should I be put on the phone with it first? Absolutely.
Here you go. It goes like this. Ring, 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 ring. Hi. Welcome to company. You go. How long you been working there? And then goes. Well, if it's been less than 3 years, please send me to somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Immediately. See, because my customer service score
Pretty much.
is suffering because they're sending me to incompetent people.
Or it goes ring, 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 ring. Please escalate this to the next person.
I'm gonna start cursing unless I get somebody who knows what the hell's going on. Okay. So push presents.
right.
So celebrity started this. The basic concept is that the lady gets some kind of elaborate gift in honor of the whole physical and mental sacrifice of carrying and birthing a child, right? So it was a celebrity thing. Like Kanye had to give Kim push presents before she switched to a surrogate. It's a whole thing.
What?
I have never heard of this.
Never heard. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a thing. So as long as it exists in stupid celebrity land where they make money that they just don't know what to do with, that's fine. Well, unfortunately, it has transferred over into upper class because the story went viral. A guy posted on Reddit. Him and his wife make $175K each a year, and they decided they wanted to have a kid. The problem is the wife. Her work will pay her 50% of her salary on maternity leave for the first 6 months, and they will give her a second 6 months, and they will not pay her a salary for that second 6 months.
Hold on. What? How long is generally like maternity leave?
It depends on the country, but in the U.S., it's
Not great.
not great, no.
I was gonna say
If
if
you're
you got
lucky-
6 months, that's a long time.
I agree.
But it's only 50% of your salary, which is also painful and hurtful.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, I've never heard of 6 months.
No, it's
I-
usually
yeah,
like
that's
3
because
months,
this is
4
America.
months. This is America.
That's how it goes. Don't get me slipping on. So anyway.
Okay,
sorry.
anyways,
So
got it.
they'll pay her 50% for the first 50% of her salary for the first 6 months. She can have a second 6 months, but they will not pay her a dime for that. So they both handle their finances separately. They're married, whatever, but they split the bills evenly. They keep their money apart. So
Smart.
to deal with that, I agree. I'm on board with the keeping your money apart and just handling the bills 50-50. The problem is because of that, since she's going to not be making as much money and potentially not making any money, she told her husband, all right, here's the deal. 50 grand. I want 50 grand for the first 6 months. And then if I take the second 6 months, another 50 grand. That's what I want. And the husband went to Reddit with the story to ask for advice because this is a little bit different than push present, but it's in the same stratosphere. And so the question is, who's in the wrong? Because in all honesty, the lady is not going to have her salary and is going to need some help, but also being like, I'll have this kid, but it's going to cost you 100 G's.
Well, I mean, shouldn't he just be providing anyways? Like,
That was my take.
I understand that you can keep them separate, but okay, you're probably gonna have to take on the other bills for a while
Yeah.
until back on. You got to take care of the kids anyways. So, like, I feel weird that she's demanding money, but I also think that he should be like providing anyway.
I think it should be like an unspoken rule that if you split things 50-50, but if you have a kid and one of the partners is going to suffer financially for it, the other partner has to step up and cover.
I completely agree. My take on it was the same as yours, which is saying I want $50,000 feels dirty. Like, I don't like saying that sentence. So to me, the solution would be, at least for her first 6 months, while she's still getting a salary, that he just foots all of, if not most of the bills, because obviously she's not going to work.
I mean, I feel like that she doesn't need to take a year. I feel like 6 months is probably good.
I've never had a kid. So
I
Me neither,
don't
I
either,
don't.
but I mean, you're making enough that you probably could afford daycare. I mean,
That's a good point.
Okay, unless you don't like daycare, then you might as well just forget about the whole job situation anyways, and then he's going to provide.
It's an interesting perspective. See, the whole thing that gets it's just weird to me because like the way I think of it, and who knows if it'll ever come up, but like the whole story down the road of, oh yeah, we're so glad we have you, Tommy. Thank goodness your dad paid me $50,000, or who knows where we'd be. Just doesn't feel good. Like, here's therapy. Like, let me just escort you over here because I'm just gonna walk you there quickly with this story because it just.
Sorry, kid. Money's more important than you.
Yeah, I don't think it was okay for her to like demand the $50,000, but also, yeah, he needs to step up and
I agree.
cover.
I feel weird that he's like taking it to Reddit. Like,
Oh, that's not great either.
Can you
No.
believe the audacity of my wife
This bee over here.
You know,
with my child?
I wonder if he's going to be one of those dads that kicks the mom off after she gives birth to sleep on the bed, because that happens.
I don't know. It's just like the contract negotiation that is childbirth is weird to me because like lower middle class. Like my parents, this was never a conversation that was going to come up. Like, oh, well, what do you want for the kid? Like, what? No, what are you going to give me? Your Hot Wheels collection? Like, you got nothing. We're broke.
That's some
Yeah.
weird.
It's a contract negotiation to have a kid. It's kind of like, all right, well, if that's the case, why don't you guys just buy one?
It sounds like a surrogacy, honestly.
I mean, honestly, that could be a
Like-
solution too. If that's the case with the amount of money they're making, why don't you just go that route and then nobody has to give up work? Just split the surrogacy 50-50.
That's actually true. That's true.
I mean, just crunch the numbers. You're already running contract negotiations to figure out how you're going to do this kid thing. Put it down. All right, the surrogate's going to cost us this much, but we don't have to leave work. Let's run some fractions here. Like, just do that. Or adopt one. You know, either way. I mean, I would leave this story out, though, because I can't feel like the adoption agency be like, oh, well, you can't decide if you didn't want to have one naturally because you couldn't give cough up $50,000. Like, that doesn't feel good out loud. But, you know,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
goodness we got you, Triangle. We don't want to stop working though, so you just sit down there with babysitter TV and figure it out.
You do. Yes.
Too close to home? Too close to home.
No.
That's fine.
No.
That's fine. This has been the show.
After the
show.